Hi guys! You all ready for our class tonight? We've got some great recipes tonight. I'm really excited to share them with you. So, we have 3 main recipes. Shepherd's pie. It's so good. Shepherd's pie, like casserole kind of things, are not my thing. This is so unbelievably good. Although I do love mashed potatoes, so you kind of can't go wrong with mashed potatoes with me. Curried coconut shrimp with rice and chicken cacciatore. Yeah. So first I'm going to start off by just going over kind of our lesson for the day. And it is an extra that we're going to do. So this is shortbread. I don't know if you're like me. I adore shortbread. I'm just doing tea tonight because I think I'm coming down with a cold. If you guys aren't, wash your hands good. We're going to be very careful about hygiene today anyway. So this is a little recipe for rosemary maple shortbread. I know it's interesting to put what we think of as a savory spice into a sweet, but they're unbelievably good. So these buttery shortbread cookies are everything autumn has to offer. Smoky maple syrup and butter are delicately whipped with earthy chopped rosemary and walnuts, and whole wheat flour provides a hit of fiber. This dough freezes beautifully, and let's say last minute dinner parties. So we're all going to make this together to start off, and we're going to have these cook. It's going to smell unbelievable, but then they can cool down while we're cooking the meals, and they'll be ready when we're all done. So it calls for 2 sticks of butter, quarter of a cup of maple syrup, quarter of a cup of sugar, 2 cups of whole wheat flour, plus more for the board. I tend to substitute whole wheat flour for most everything, and I found a way to make it work. Sometimes you just need to add like a little bit of honey or a little bit extra liquid. Quarter of a teaspoon of salt, 1 tablespoon of fresh rosemary, finely chopped, and half a cup of walnuts, finely chopped. So I don't usually put nuts in my shortbread, but this is really good. Okay, so you're going to preheat the oven to 325 degrees. Cream together the butter, maple syrup, and sugar. Once fluffy, add the rosemary. So we're just going to use beaters. It'll be easy. This is going to be quick. In a separate bowl, combine the flour and salt. Mix it into the butter mixture until thoroughly combined. Toss in the nuts and mix until combined. Chill the dough in the refrigerator for 20 minutes. That's why we're making it first. Sprinkle flour on a dry surface and roll out the dough to 1/2 inch thick. Use your favorite cookie cutter or a small biscuit cutter and place on an ungreased cookie sheet. Bake for 16 minutes or until the cookies are just becoming golden brown around the edges. So it's really easy, and again, you can freeze it, and it's a great one to just pull out and be able to make delicious cookies last minute. All right, so the first table is going to make the shepherd's pie. Look at that. Now again, you will get your HelloFresh box at home this week, so you can try all of the recipes on your own. They do deliver all over the US now, and it's fun to be able to try the recipes again and be able to keep your favorites. And I love the way they print out the recipes. I think they're so beautiful. I have a 3-ring binder that I put them all in afterwards. So here's a comfort food classic taken up a notch. Ground beef and veggies are cooked in a hearty gravy, then topped with smooth mashed potatoes and a sprinkle of Parmesan cheese. So you'll have ground beef, Yukon potatoes, carrot, onion, milk, Parmesan cheese, stock concentrate, peas, rosemary, a tablespoon of corn flour, a tablespoon of butter, and olive oil. You'll get everything at home except for the butter and the olive oil. This is 739 calories, but I really seriously doubt you're going to eat half of this casserole. And they claim this is for 2 servings. So I can never eat half of what we make. So I ate 1/4 of it, and then it was very reasonable in terms of calories, so, and very filling. It's 51 grams of carbohydrates because of the mashed potatoes, 39 grams of fat, again because of the mashed potatoes, oh, and the beef. 46 grams of protein, lots of protein, and 6 grams of fiber. So we're going to just peel and cut the potatoes. Honestly, I did not peel my potatoes. I like peels in my mashed potatoes, so I left them in. You can or you don't have to. It's however you like your mashed potatoes. I like my mashed potatoes a little bit chunkier, and I like the fiber from the peels. So you're going to cut them into half-inch cubes. They need to be uniform or they're not all going to cook correctly. So you want to make sure you cut them uniform. Place them in a pot with water, add a pinch of salt, and bring to a boil. Cook for about 12 minutes until easily pierced with a knife after they boil. And then we're going to finely chop the carrots, onions, and take the rosemaries off the sprig. Then we're going to cook the ground beef in a little bit of olive oil, salt, and pepper, about 6 minutes. Then add the onions, carrots, cook for 5 minutes until tender, and then you're going to add the corn flour and cook for about 2 minutes. Then stock concentrate, half a cup of water, rosemary and peas. You're just going to stir about 6 minutes, add some salt and pepper. Then you're going to take the potatoes out, drain them, mash them with a potato masher or fork, add some butter, milk, and salt. I will confess, I make my mashed potatoes with a mixer. I know they say you're not supposed to, that it gets too gummy, but I don't do it for very long, and I do it on a low setting, and I don't think mine are gummy. I like the way mine come out, but you may not, so I would try it with a masher here, but at home you may want to try a mixer. See if it works for you. It's just so much easier. Transfer the meat to a baking dish. We used a 9x5 inch dish. Top with the mashed potatoes and Parmesan cheese, and then transfer to the broiler or oven and cook for about 6 minutes or until golden brown on top. And then serve. It's really easy. It's so good. It's really good comfort food for this time of year. So the next table is going to have the curry coconut shrimp. Now this is spicy. I made it at home, and I did not add the spice because my son, I have a 3-year-old, does not like spice and loves shrimp. So we tend to have a jar of sriracha on the table now, which is just hot sauce, because my husband and I like spicy, but my son won't touch it if it's spicy. So take a trip to the Southeast Asia. You don't say the Southeast Asia. Take a trip to Southeast Asia with this delicious curry. Shrimp, green beans, bell pepper, onions are cooked in a coconut curry, served over fluffy basmati rice to sop up that sauce. So it's shrimp, basmati rice, coconut milk, onion, red bell pepper, green beans, soy sauce, basil, Thai chili, curry powder, and olive oil. It's, again, 734 calories, but we split this between 3 of us. My son doesn't eat a large portion, but he ate about half the shrimp. So I didn't get a lot of shrimp. 94 grams of carbohydrates, that's the rice. 27 grams of fat, 32 grams of protein, so a good amount of protein. Not for me though, because my son ate them all. Fiber, 6 grams. So we're going to have you make the rice in a pot, but to be honest, I made mine in a rice cooker. I am a working mom, so I cut corners where I can, and I am known to burn rice on the stove. So it's hard to burn rice if you follow this recipe. It's just 1.5 cups of water, pinch of salt to boil. Once it's boiling, add the rice, return to a boil, cover, reduce heat to low, and then cook for 15 minutes. My oven tends to run really hot, so I can't cook it for 15 minutes. I often have to add more water, and I have to cook it a shorter amount of time. So the rice cooker is just easier for me. take the pot off the heat and let it steam covered for 5 more minutes. Peel and thinly slice the onions. Remove the core, seeds, and white veins from the pepper. Cut into cubes. See, I like that these are really, it's like you've never cooked before. So these are great gifts too. Like if you know of somebody who's trying to learn how to cook, it's like this. It's a cooking class. Okay. Have the green beans. Thinly slice the Thai chili. Thinly slice the basil. So cut as much chili as you're going to want. Then you're going to cook the shrimp with salt and pepper in some oil for just 2 minutes, just quick. And then you're going to take them out of the pan, just put them on a dish, and heat the remaining oil, which is half a tablespoon. Add the onions, cook for 5 minutes. Add the curry powder, red bell pepper, green beans, and as much chili as you want. So we'll have to take a vote in here who likes real hot and who doesn't, and then we'll kind of figure out what we want as a group because we're all going to eat this. And then cook for 1 minute, tossing. Then add the coconut milk. Everything is better with coconut milk. And soy sauce. Simmer for about 6 minutes until green beans are crisp, tender, and pepper is softened. Then add the shrimp and the basil and cook for 1 more minute. And then fluff the rice. Serve it with the rice with the curry on top. Again, they're all easy. I would be surprised if any of these take you more than a half hour. So this is the chicken cacciatore. This is hunter stew is what they call it. It's made with chicken that's seared, finished in an herby tomato sauce with mushrooms and green peppers, then served over linguine to soak up the delicious sauce. So I am not a big fan of tomato sauce, but I loved this because it was chunkier. I like chunky sauces. I don't really like real pureed tomato sauces. This is chicken breast, onion, 2 cloves of garlic, thyme, parsley, bay leaves, diced tomatoes, stock concentrate, button mushrooms, green bell peppers, linguine, olive oil, and butter. This is again 751 calories. These are high calorie counts for them, but these are really hearty items. I know we were easily able to split these into 4 meals. So usually a small one for my son, a large portion for my husband, a medium-sized portion for me, and then an extra portion for lunch the next day. And you can always add some more pasta. Actually, I had guests when I made the shepherd's pie, and I had a bag of potatoes, so I more than doubled the amount of mashed potatoes I made. And then it easily served 4 of us, and we had leftovers. So this has 83 carbohydrates. Pasta will get you every time. That's why I don't eat a lot of it. 22 grams of fat, 56 grams of protein, and 14 grams of fiber. And you could replace this with whole wheat pasta. It would be fine. So you're going to bring a large pot to boil. Chop the onion, garlic, and parsley. Chop the pepper and mushrooms and chicken into 1-inch cubes. Then you're going to heat some oil. Season the chicken with salt and pepper, and then cook until about 4 minutes until it's golden brown. It'll cook later as well to get the inside thoroughly cooked. Then you're going to put that on a plate and add a little bit more oil. Add the onion, garlic, thyme, bay leaf, mushrooms, and bell pepper, and cook until browned. Then add the stock concentrate and the diced tomatoes to the pan. Cook for 10 minutes over low heat. Then cook the pasta in your boiling water for 10 to 12 minutes. Drain and toss with a tablespoon of butter. You can cut the butter if you don't want it. Once the sauce is thickened, add the chicken to the sauce and cook 5 minutes or until warmed. Remove the bay leaf and thyme spring and discard, and then just serve over the pasta. I do often look for ways to make them a little bit healthier, so I did not add the butter to my linguine, and it was delicious. As long as you don't let it sit for too long and your sauce is ready quickly and you can toss it with the sauce. And I did. I just put my linguine in the pot with the sauce, so it was all covered and it didn't get dry, and it was wonderful. So the other thing that will come in your box is, I guess there's a new show with Emerald and Ty Pennington called On the Menu, and they give you a little bit of information here. So we'll read the cooking tips in here. So Emerald says, keep a well-stocked pantry of essentials like rice, beans, garlic, so you can whip up a meal as easily when hunger hits. Cooking tip 2, make some extra and save yourself time. Chop more garlic, onions, or cook some more pasta so you have it ready to use for another night. Remember, airtight containers or plastic bags work great, and then you can freeze stuff, which is wonderful for me. Always read your recipe from beginning to end so there aren't any surprises when you are cooking. And then Ty says, treat your kitchen like an Italian sports car. Keep it clean and super sharp, and make sure everything you need is within close reach, because things can always take a sharp turn. You need to be ready to shift gears because you never get a chance to use your brakes until you're across the finish line. So I don't have a television, so I won't be watching that, but I think one of the menu options this week will be from Emerald, so if you're interested in that. All right, well, I will see you next week for our next class, and I hope you enjoy making these over the week. All right, talk to you later, guys, and get your chopping done and we'll get you a glass of wine. All right, I'll be over to help in just a second. Okay.